One of the hardest parts too is that with Christianity, again, we question faith a lot. Why did this person get this? Why did this happen to me and not that person? Why did I get caught for something that I didn't even do or blamed on me? Or why didn't this person get caught on, you know?
0, 1. Let's get started.
What you got for us today, K.M.B? You may ask that question. What do I have for you guys today? Well, today I got answers. You know, people a lot of times, you know, when we question our faith a lot, you know, as Christians, you know, when stuff doesn't go our way, we ask God why. Why didn't this go our way? You know, we question. Sadly, some people question if he's even real or not because of these tragic events that happen or stuff that happened in their past. Why does God put me through these challenges? Why does God put me through these obstacles and stuff like that? And you can look into the Bible because the Bible will tell you everything, dude. I can read some verses real fast. There's some Bible verses real fast. Philippines 4:13. I can do all things through him who strengthens me. So that basically means like you can do anything through Jesus, dude. Like you can you can have it just bills ain't getting paid, stuff ain't going through, or everything is just all mind blowing in your head right now. Just everything is everywhere right now. But if you pray about it, if you think that if you know that Jesus is gonna be there for you, he's gonna pull through, dude. And a lot of people question this kind of stuff because they're just like, then why do people die from cancer? Why do people die then? Well, if we are all living when this world be overpopulated, it's not. How do I explain it? It's like it's when your time is coming, so that's where you should start praying. Because you never know when the last day is gonna be for you. And I'm hoping we all make it to heaven. Sadly, some people are still sinning. Some people don't believe in that Jesus is real, and it's just mind blows me. Again, there's so many miracles out there, but again, we're questioning ourselves. We're questioning our faith. Some people are like, oh, but yet I do good things all the time, but yet people still stab me in the back. But yet, I still am, unemployed right now. Like, what is going on with God's plan with me? You gotta trust in him, you have to learn from your mistakes. I think this is one of the best sayings. You have to know the lesson before getting the blessing. And that's facts. There's so much obstacles in life, Um my obstacles in life, I don't even know what I would say about that. I mean, it's probably so many. Say at one time my obstacle in life was getting rebaptized. I come from a Catholic faith background in a way. I got baptized as a baby, and a lot of times Catholics don't like it when other Christians get rebaptized because they think you should only get baptized one time in their entire life. Well, in my church, it's not like that. You do get rebaptized or you get baptized. Um, I hesitant on it. Like, should I do it? Should I not? Should I go through with it? And I decided to get rebaptized. I felt like I changed so much in the past. I'm falling more into God's timing. I'm trusting more in the Lord. I'm going all in on it. Why not get rebaptized? But I also too I hesitated. I was like, but yet I'm still sinning. But yet I still don't read my Bible like I should. Like, it's just all those things. Like, I looked at it like, oh, I need to be a perfect Christian. There is no such thing as perfect. The only perfect Christian ever was Jesus. And you got to remember that. Actually, too, like I said, a lot of times, you question God. You ask him, like, why did you place me in this family. Okay? I'll admit it, my family, if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be the person who I am today. A lot of people say I'm kind, I'm funny, I'm nice and stuff like that. And if it wasn't for them that raised me like that, I don't know what I would be or who I would be. But at the same time though, there was a lot of difficulties, in my family. A lot of things that happened in my life. I'll get on that when I redo my testimony, but still, a lot of stuff happened. Messed up stuff. But I'm not over here blaming God. I never have. I never asked God, slam my hand on the table and ask him, why did you place me here? I look on to those bad memories or those tragic things that happened in my past, my childhood, teen years, all that. And I tell myself this, that maybe God put those obstacles, those challenges in my way or in my life because he wants me to redo what my family broke, if that makes sense. Like I'm not saying there's no such thing as a perfect family. Absolutely not. But all those bad things that I seen, now I won't do it. Now I won't fall into temptation. No, I won't fall into addiction. Now my kids aren't gonna see dad a mess. Now my kids aren't gonna be like, oh, dad's drinking again. Because I had to witness that, because I had to seen that. Oh, another divorce is gonna happen. It's the third one now in my childhood. My kids aren't gonna have that. So you gotta think of it like that. Maybe that's why God puts those things in your way. Maybe sometimes you ask, God, why am I not friends with that person anymore? Like that was my best friend right there. Maybe that best friend is doing his own thing, and maybe you should do your own thing. You guys, maybe it's time to separate. Okay, you can't always be by the same people all the time. You need not diverse, but like just you need to spread out your options. You need to make new friends. You need to find other people sometimes, especially like if you were once this like worldly person, you hung around worldly people and you're trying to get closer to Christ, join church groups, dude. That's the best thing that I can tell you, dude. And listen here. You may go to these church groups and you may see these smiles on these people's faces, but guess what? Deep down, they're still sinning too, dude, just like you are. They're still having challenges and obstacles in their way. They still have a testimony too. Ain't no Christian perfect, dude. No one's perfect. I think one of the hardest parts too is that with Christianity, again, we question faith a lot. Why did this person get this? Why did this happen to me and not that person? Why did I get caught for something that I didn't even do or blamed on me? Or why didn't this person get caught on? All that. We have all sorts of questions. We question on question on question. So a lot of times too, when I think of when people are ungrateful for stuff, you have to realize that some people are more unfortunate than you are. That's a good way of looking at it. The best way of looking at it through a Christian standpoint, in my opinion, is think about this, that this is not your home, dude. Heaven is your home. How do I become a better person? It's not, I mean, yeah, you should definitely give stuff 100%. Give to the homeless or give to the needed and help out at your church and stuff like that. But it's not just about being a good person. It's about like you coming to your like down on your knees basically and asking for forgiveness. It's about you changing just as a person every day. That's what Christianity is. That you are getting closer with Jesus so you can make it to heaven. It's not about getting all this money because you feel like you deserve it. It's not about getting what you want. Like, God is not a genie, dude. He is a father. He is a parent. That is why he puts these obstacles in your way so you can learn the lesson. All these people, you get everything handed to you, you're never going to feel blessed. You're going to feel ungrateful for your whole entire life if you get everything handed to you. He is a parent. When people are questioning on miracles, dude, I know somebody that shot their own leg and they can walk till this day and they still don't believe in him. Blows my mind. I get in one car accident when I'm 17 years old and I didn't kill nobody, and I was blessed and I went back to church and I thank the Lord that day happened, because I learned my lesson that I am not invincible. I kid you not, I thought I was. I first got my license and I thought to myself, I will never crash. Like, I will never, like, God got me. That's why I literally told myself, and God did get me. Got me. You know what I mean? He did protect me 100%. But at the same time, though, he taught me a lesson. That when you mess up, anything can happen. And anything can happen. I think the best thing that you can do, again, instead of asking God, why is this happening to me? Ask him, what is your plan for me? Like, I'm just gonna say, I don't really like spilling out my secrets, but I might lose my job that I always dreamed of retiring from. And I'm asking God a lot, like, do you want me to go to a different option? Like, what do you need me to do? I've been praying about. I'm even struggling here. I'm strong in my faith, I would say. We all do. We all question all the time. Us as humans in general, we question everything. That's why though you do need to give it up to him, dude. You need to trust in him, because if you don't trust in him, you just worry and worry and worry about it. And that's something that you shouldn't do. Again, I struggled with anxiety. I struggled from depression. I struggled from all that. Guess what? That kid that you seen in those videos, you wouldn't have ever guessed it. That kid was going through it at home with in an abusive household. You wouldn't have known that. You would have just thought that this kid had it privileged because he lived in a nice neighborhood and he made YouTube videos. Okay, I hid from the pain. And I prayed to God. That's why you seen the happiness. That's why you seen the joy. That's the reason why I am today. If it wasn't for Jesus, dude, I would be a giant player, scumbag, probably drug addict, alcoholic, all that. A cheater, like, if it wasn't for Jesus. But because of the obstacles that he put in my teen years and childhood, and he helped me through it, is the reason why I am today, dude. The reason why I care about others, and the reason why I'm trying to be there for others, is I felt so alone at times when I was a kid. So Jesus helped me because God was always there for me. And I'm trying to spread more of Jesus than anything, dude. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have made this podcast, dude. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be alive till this day, probably. Because he protected me. Because he knew I had a purpose in life. At 6 years old, I got stuck in a fire, dude, on a bus. The fact that Jesus basically told me that I have more purpose in this life is a blessing every day. I look back on that now. When you don't think you have a purpose in life, dude, that's false. But again, we question why all the time. Why didn't I get this? Why didn't I get that? Trust in the Lord, dude. There's a reason why you didn't get that job, maybe. Maybe that job would have made you miserable. Maybe you would have had a coworker that would try to manipulate you into thinking something not. that's not real. Or maybe that job just didn't fit well for you. Sometimes people question too is like, why do I have this talent but I can't use it in a good way? Maybe you can. Just God put different things in your life, if that makes sense. Right? Like maybe you're somebody that doesn't want to be a teacher, or somebody that loves to teach people how to do stuff. And you tried being a teacher, but you failed in school. Well, maybe you can teach people voluntarily. A lot of people don't like volunteering. I was one of those people too. And I'll admit it, I didn't really thought of serving at my church, as selfish as that sounds. Because I kind of thought to myself, it's like, what's the point if you're not getting paid for it? But they made a whole service about serving and made me think about of signing up for serving. And now I serve not every Sunday, but a lot of Sundays. And honestly, it's a very good feeling to get. When you hold the doors open for people and people say thank you, and some people literally say thank you for serving, and you're just like, oh, like this is kind of nothing, but appreciate it. It's such a different feeling. God puts things in our minds for a reason. Maybe he just has different plans for you. You never know. I think sometimes it is hard to trust him. That is very true. Even his disciples even questioned him too. The people that literally knew him in person, but yet they still stuck with him because they thought he was the Messiah. And he was. He performed miracles in front of people, and people still didn't believe him. The government didn't even like him. Thought he was a trespasser. He was, shamed from a lot of towns. The man that died on the cross for our sins was shamed from people even when he was living. That's pretty mind-blowing. So when people ask him or say he's not real, it's mind-blowing. Why do some people not believe in him? What did he do to those people that don't like him? You should ask that person that sometime. When they're dissing on your God, you should ask them, why do you not respect my God? See what they say. And then if they say, why do you believe in him? Explain why you believe in him. Because I can tell you why I believe in him. Because if it wasn't for him, I'd be a mess up. If it wasn't for him. So, thank you guys for listening. I'll see you guys next week.